joining us. Today we have a wonderful guest, one of my favorite clients ever, Miss Erma Robbins. How are you doing, Erma?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I appreciate you joining us today and talking to some new people who might be thinking about doing the Reboot program, and you've had such success. I thought that you're telling your story might help someone else who's thinking about it be able to kind of take a deeper look. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be able to do it because I was one of those tough people to reach.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into all of that. I want to hear all about why and what your hot points were for being part of the program, what you've been through before, and the kind of successes, scale victories and non-scale victories that you've seen along the way, because they're pretty astounding. So you're an incredibly disciplined person. You joyfully embrace this and move forward and trust the process. And it's paid back with the kind of results we see. Erma has lost nearly 40 pounds and has lost over 5 feet, 61 inches, just off of what we measure on a regular basis in her progress of inches that are gone forever from her body. And I commend you so much. You've worked so hard to get there and have embraced it. And I think it's wonderful to see.
It's
So
wonderful to feel too.
yeah,
Really wonderful.
it shows on you. Your energy, your vibrance, your youth. It's just unbelievable what has happened to you. The transformation is fantastic. So, in terms of your history, why don't you start us
Mhm.
off by telling us how you got here?
I feel as a child, probably in high school, is when I started feeling the need, the urge to have to lose some weight. And as a sophomore, I was 125 pounds. I was so not fat. When I was a senior in high school, I was right back out 125. And I had, between my sophomore and senior year, I had put on a little weight. Getting energetic and doing something took care of that for me. I was very fortunate there. When I went to college, I did really, really well. And then when I got into, late 20s, early 30s, two children, stressful situations, it just it just followed me like and made me feel like a balloon.
Mhm.
So I have dieted and I have tried this and I have tried that. And probably about 15 years ago or so, a girlfriend and I had committed to do the South Beach diet together.
Mhm.
We had some success with it. We both did. And I remember counting 8 macadamia nuts was all I could have for a snack. That's
Well,
the
there's
thing
a
that I remember.
sustainable diet.
I know, right? But that is about the only thing that I remember about the South Beach diet.
Mhm.
I had gotten down to maybe 10 pounds less than what I am right now.
Mhm.
And then it started coming back, and everybody said, "Oh, but you're looking so good." And I said, but the weight is coming back on. I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know why this is happening because I was still basically on the plan.
Mhm.
When, no, about 3 years ago in November, I started with a realization, how the light bulb goes off and it's like,
Mhm.
aha, here's a moment. I decided right then and there, and it was at our Christmas bazaar at church, and I was selling candy of all things, no sugar. I said, that is a culprit for me. That is something I cannot turn aside. I
Has it been a
crave
lifelong nemesis for you to want
for,
sugar?
yes, forever.
Mm.
When I was in the third grade, I lost 6 molars on my lower jaw from sugar decay.
Lord.
And it wasn't that I didn't brush my teeth. It wasn't that I didn't eat right. They just, and two of them were permanent. I lost my
Wow.
6-year molars with that too. So I still have holes, but that has always been a lifelong struggle for me. Lifelong. When I drew the line in the sand selling candy at the church bazaar, I said, "No, I can't do it." I talked to my primary care physician
Hmm.
and told her that I was struggling with weight because it was just coming back on. And I managed to, with the help of the keto plan, which is what the weight loss clinic uses as their guidelines, I managed to lose a total of 60 pounds. I
That's
started,
great.
uh, I started about 236, and I had lost a few pounds on my own just with the sugar, but it wasn't working super well.
So at 236, and how tall are you?
5'5".
Yeah, so you were good and truly obese at that time, and you were
Yes, I
having
was.
problems with your knees and so forth as well.
Serious problems with my knees. Yes.
So there are
Yes.
consequences outside of your dress size that you're starting to see. And you're also a survivor, correct?
I am a 21 plus year survivor of a very, very aggressive form of breast cancer.
Well, we're very glad to have you here. So you've had a
I am
complicated health
glad.
history. You've had
Yes.
carb addiction, sugar addiction, and you found
Carb.
yourself, yeah, carb and sugar addiction, and
Hmm.
you had to have them. And you've actually told me that when I've met you before. It's like, I don't know, I really love my carbs. So,
Yep, I did.
and the keto diet, because you took away the carbs, got you down a lot of weight.
Yes, it
But
did.
what happened when you stopped with all your macros and you were done?
I really didn't stop until it was like I just hit a whiplash and I
Mm.
started coming back with the weight. And I thought, "Oh, no, no, I don't want to do this again." And I
So,
hate
like with
it.
the South Beach diet, you got to a certain point and it just started coming back.
Yes, it did.
Slowly, it chips away because you can't. The hard part of keto, and I've been on keto before, but what I have found over and over again with client after client after client that I study and learn about, keto gets you just so far because
Right,
it's about the food. A lot of
right.
people look haggard when they're doing it. They look very tired or very gaunt. And because it is a diet of such restriction, it's about the ratios of how much of these macronutrients you have. But that's the end of the diet. That's the whole diet in a sentence. Have
And
these macros, God bless.
but that's
That's it.
where it got really boring too.
It
It
gets
was hard.
monotonous and it's not sustainable for a lifetime.
No, it
Yeah.
was monotonous like crazy.
Yeah. It's a diet in the
So
true sense of the temporary time that you're on it and then you're done and they say, see ya. But then what happened?
then I gained some weight back and I went up to 198.8. And I thought,
Yeah.
ugh,
Knocking on the
no,
door of 200 there. Yeah.
yes. And that is scary. I have, we have our granddaughter, our 9-year-old granddaughter that we're raising.
Hmm.
And I want to be here to help her turn into the best young lady that she can.
Hmm.
I can't do that if I'm in a grave.
No.
I also have other grandchildren that I crave seeing them. That is the kind of love addiction that I really want to be able to maintain.
So you
And I
have, for
feel,
part of your goals, you had your grandchildren in mind, including
yes,
one you're raising,
yes,
to want to see them through a certain point in a healthy way, to not be
hmm,
wheelchair bound because your knees have just had as many
right,
surgeries as you can. At some point, you're in a chair and you just
right,
can't participate in life. I know that when I hit a wheelchair, my weight went way up because stop moving. It's really
right.
hard. And that's the future you were looking at. Even though you did keto and you got down, it was failing you. But
Yes,
they're
I
built to
feel like
fail. They're
that.
built to be short-term solutions. And I wrote down something I know about the South Beach diet. It is designed for you to lose only 10 to 15 pounds permanently. And after that, it stops working because your metabolism catches up with all of the limitations you're doing, and it does nothing about what's up here. It's all about the counting. It's not
Exactly.
sustainable, but in the beginning of the book, in the acknowledgments, it's buried in there. This diet is designed for 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss only. It says right in there, but they never told anybody that. They just snuck it in the fine print. But that's true of almost all diets. So you've been the victim of two big diet types. You've had some success, but it comes back. So what about the reboot was different for you?
I think sitting across the dining room table from you was a huge difference.
Why?
It was huge. I heard you say things that I had never heard anybody say before.
Like what?
You don't have to cut carbs forever.
Mhm.
You do not have to snack to survive. If you become fat adapted, you're going to lose your edge on the hunger. You just will not be hungry. You will not miss sugar. And I swear I could have called you liar, liar, pants on fire.
Your face was saying it for you, really. You were like, you're giving me the stink eye across the table.
I
Patrick,
know.
my son was even kicking me under the table, like, Ma, see the look you're getting? But I tried not to say too much because people don't believe me until they're just like,
Right.
yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah.
you had someone that we both know go through, and we were at her dining room table, and we knew each other, Erma and I did, and this other person beforehand, but you'd seen her success. She's several months ahead of you, and you kind of said, well, she's been having this success and Sheila's lost 110 pounds on it, so I have nothing to lose and everything to gain, but the weight, and everything to gain, but a possible future. And if she's
Yes.
right, even if she's half right, this would be worth the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just exactly right.
Mhm.
Because I never would have believed it. But July 13th is the day that I said, here and here, I'm
Mhm.
done.
And you had
And
just had a knee surgery, knee replacement surgery number 3.
yes, I did. I did. Because we sat across the table from each other like June 11th and the
Yeah.
14th, I had my last knee surgery.
So about a month
And
after that, you were in rehab,
exactly.
physical therapy with your knee. So when Erma started, she was limited on what she could do for movement. And a lot of diets say eat less, move more, got to exercise a lot, all those kind of things. And Irma was like, but I can't move. I can go to PT, but I can't go. And I just said, don't worry about it. You don't have to work out to lose weight. She was like,
Right.
okay.
Right.
But you really decided, I think partly because you saw this other person do really well, and we're like, okay, she's doing it. I'll suspend my disbelief. Am
Let
I
me
right?
put it into a stalling position. Let me commit to this. Let
Oh.
me give it the chance to work. Because if I don't give it a chance, it can't ever work, ever. And I think the things that have helped me so much is my journaling.
Mm.
And I journal everything, everything that goes into my mouth in whatever shape or form. I've made some mistakes, but some of the mistakes that I have made were educational ones, like some of the additives in some of the foods that I was consuming.
An example would be what? The
Carrageenan,
carrageenan in what was that?
yes.
Whipped cream?
That was in the heavy whipping cream that I was putting in my coffee. Because the
Okay.
thing with keto is all the bacon you want, all the heavy whipping cream you want in your coffee, what's not to love?
But no standards in terms of the quality of what that is. Just
Exactly.
have it. It doesn't matter if the bacon has nitrates and nitrates in it. It doesn't matter if it's got tons of sugar in it.
Exactly. Right.
So you were on a bit of a stall. You were little up, little down. And that's when Irma's habit of journaling comes in so handy, because I said, go grab your journal. Let's get into the details. Because there's what I have found as a health coach is there's always that one small thing that is the finger, in the dam that's keeping things from flowing and being what it's supposed to be. It's just
Mhm.
that one little stone in your shoe or whatever. It's that one little thing. So I said, take that out. And I just said, what are you having in your coffee? You said, heavy cream. I said, go get it out of the refrigerator. Let's look at it.
Mhm.
She turned it around and there was what in there?
The carrageenan.
Yes,
The
it's a
resolution.
texturizer. Yeah, that's made out of Irish moss seaweed. And
Right.
although it is natural, it's a heavy inflammatory food. But it's very common in all natural nut milks, things like that, where they can say it's all natural because it is a natural ingredient, but it's a texturizer. So you have that mouth feel. So with
Right.
cheap cream, what they do is they basically take whole milk and they put carrageenan in it and a little bit of cream, and they say it's cream. And you notice that when you go to whip that kind of cheap cream, it doesn't ever really set up really terrific. It's just kind of gloopy. And that's because it's mostly milk that's been texturized. That's how they get it so cheap to market. So it might be a 59-cent thing of heavy cream versus the $2.25 thing that's the organic one. But when she made the shift, what happened when you made just that one change?
I had a lot of inflammatory sites on my body disappeared. Not totally gone, but so significantly reduced. It's crazy.
Well,
A
I know
big
your
one,
abdomen went way down. You started,
it did.
your entire shape of your abdomen and your profile changed after that.
Yes, yes. And it didn't happen overnight. Nothing
Oh,
happens
no,
overnight.
no.
Nothing.
But from
But
that point, we can chart that in your numbers because as
yes, we
part of the
can.
reboot, we chart every inch, everything. And I look at the profile, I look at the ratios, I look at how are you losing the inches? How are you losing the
Mhm.
pounds? It's different than getting a book. You can't ask your book, how are my inches going? What's it tell you? Is there an inflammation in my central abdomen that we need to look at? But that's what I look at because you should go
Mhm.
in and then out. And
Right.
you have just reached the natural waist ratio that you're supposed to have, 32.5 inches down from a starting of 43, as I remember. So this
That's
is
correct.
10.5 inches off your central waist to where when you look at your silhouette, it goes in and out now.
And I don't recognize myself in windows, reflecting in shopping windows.
And when, I mean, Irma posts these pictures of outfits she's never worn that are bodycon kind of beautiful, clingy outfits, everything. And she is a phenomenally youthful, beautifully postured, very present older woman who has the younger spirit and younger body now of someone much younger than herself. I think your body's starting to match your outlook in life and your personality more.
It's about time.
It's terrible about time, but you're doing so well on those kind of things, which you do not get from a book or a YouTube video or one of those keto cheerleaders who says, I can teach you how to do keto. Because it's not about coming up with fake cookies and zero
No.
net foods and still having all of those chips and bad sources and snacks and all of that. We actually tell people not to snack, to take a break in between meals and have that rest and digest period, which was kind of hard to wrap your head around because our doctors keep telling us to carry around almonds. God forbid you should go 2
Yes.
hours without food. If that were true, we'd all die in our sleep. But we had to take a look at how how Irma's tummy was behaving and getting her, entire inner workings used to eating this way, magnesium, just eat more salt. And she was like, what? There were just so many things I was telling her that were
Yeah.
against every grain in her body. But one of the things you've done really, really well, and besides all these other things, besides being a great cook and always being on the Come Cook With Me's and the cooking shows and giving me some great recipes along the way. If I lived nearby, I'd be at your house every night for dinner.
That would work.
She's done very well incorporating intermittent fasting after fat adaptation when we found out it was appropriate for her to do so. Because once your hunger goes away, you can start adding some intermittent fasting, which is not just about weight loss. This is about getting healthy, and your body responds by giving you an appropriate profile, weight for your frame, it's just the healthy, which is why she is glowing over here on this other screen. I mean, this is not the face of a woman her age. This is not what she looked like after keto. She's shown me pictures. She just looked like, oh,
I did.
drained.
I felt it
Because
too.
we're eating nutrient dense foods that feed every cell in our body. So autophagy, tell us what autophagy is. I'll stop yakking.
You can yak all you want, Sheila. I like to
Now, this
listen
is
to
your
you.
interview. Now,
I know. But every time that you talk to me about anything, I always learn something or relearn it or have another um, reinforced lesson.
what autophagy does is
Mhm,
when you have that break between your last bite and your next bite, and you give your body that rest and digest
mhm.
period where you can go 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day, and it doesn't matter because you're not hungry because you're fat adapted. Your body's burning long time fuel in your body of your own fat. We all have a
Which
million
is
calories to burn.
all
And
of
all this stuff.
this.
Yeah,
And
all of this stuff.
yes.
And for me anyway, and autophagy, which means self-eating, what that does is it goes and cleans away all of those excess cells, the bone spurs, the lumps, bumps, skin tags. And she's showing your number. Tell
Arthritis.
us, arthritis bumps are just gone.
A person commented like, wow, that's really smaller than it had been. And it's like, yeah, and now it's gone.
So once you added in intermittent fasting, these kind of
Hmm.
excess parts of your body started having the
Started
autophagy effects, the inflammation
dissolving.
bump gone, the thing, and perhaps your thyroid. So in your body, it was
Hmm.
doing that cleanup thing. You were doing it the right
Yes, it
way.
was.
You were doing it based on what was written up in the program, what I coached you to do. So it was a real way of going about intermittent fasting, not just some YouTube video crazy thing.
Right. Exactly.
And you were doing it in a very concerted way, that you were doing an
Yes.
intentional way. And you're seeing these effects happen in your body. And you've continued doing intermittent fasting as part of your health routine. It's just
Hmm.
a wonderful thing to do. If you are over 55, you should be doing some form of intermittent fasting every week. You should just make it part of your life, and it will help keep everything clean in your body. Your body has the ability to heal itself.
Yes.
And we don't hear a lot about this from the medical community because they don't make any money on it. It's all about when you eat and what you eat. Well, there's no money in that. And your body, you have to, a lot of this program, a lot of the reboot is about trusting your body to do what it is meant to do and simply eating the right foods with the right timing and wrapping your head around a wellness mindset. You put those three things together, that's the program. It's not brain surgery, but there is a lot of learning
Yes, there
that you
is.
have to do. This is not something that you can pick up in a second. There's a whole Reboot Academy of
Hmm.
9 different modules, but each one of those step-by-step things that you do is easy to comprehend, and it
Hmm.
builds the set of knowledge you have about how your body works.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That you can't rush it either. You
No.
have to do it in a very natural progression
Mhm.
because if you do it ahead of time, I think that it might backfire on you because, our
Or just
common
check
friend.
off done, 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 done,
Yeah,
done,
no,
done.
no.
It's like,
And the journaling, you have to be super, super truthful to yourself because, our friend again has admitted that she was not recording the things that she was eating and she was running into a brick wall. And that wall is hard to break down.
yeah.
Honesty to yourself and accountability to yourself is what pays off. And I value what I have learned from you. I value the way that I feel right now. I feel like I could live to 90 and still hike, a couple hours on a trip easily,
Yeah, and
very
it's not about
easily.
living longer, it's living longer healthfully. That
Yes,
because
exactly
we can
right.
extend life indefinitely in with our medical
And
science that we have.
right, right. I am not an indefinite extension on life. If I have no chance of coming out of something other than being on a vent or a feeding tube or something where I have absolutely no quality of life, it's time for my body to just go.
Move along, yes.
Yes, it is. But I really and truly believe that what this food regimen has done for me, because it's not a diet. My family eats the same thing I do. I supplement
That's an
theirs a
important
little
point.
bit.
Yeah,
It is a very important point.
yeah.
And I plan our menus. Tonight we're having scallops. I have some leftover rice that I'm going to cook for my husband. I am cooking some beets, and I'm also having a very healthy, big, fat spinach salad.
Go for it, honey.
Yes. So,
She's a
but
wonderful cook. She
but
always makes something good.
it's just you have to do it the right way. And I have purchased absolutely nothing that I didn't have already.
So no pills, no potions, no shakes, no supplements,
Right,
gym
right,
memberships, exercise
right,
equipment. Okay.
right. None of that. So the
So it's one
cost,
and done. Like when the
one
cost
and
comes
done.
in, the cost is the cost.
That's it.
Okay.
And there
And you
was no
also
way
had a
that I could
DNA
have done
test,
this.
didn't you? You had the
I
bonus of
did.
the DNA report. And what
I
did
did.
that be something that was helpful for you to know that information?
I think it was. I mean, it's been quite a while since we have discussed it, but
It has.
it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things in there that it told me that I leaned toward. Some things that it said I needed to be aware of, cautious on this, this is a positive, this is a watch it kind of thing.
Mhm.
But yes, it was a very helpful tool.
Do you ever take it back out and check in with it? Because it would be great if towards the end of the program, like you're pulling into your last 4 or 5 weeks here of the program, and it might be good to kind of see, was that true? Did I find that these
Yes.
things, or has this changed? Because one of the things that this program does is it changes the way your genes are expressed. And you can change your genetic structure by
Yes.
getting down to the basics and nourishing your body. You can express them in a different way.
I think that would be fun. I've got it on my laptop, so I may
Yeah.
have to do that in the next day or two.
Well, that's one of the
So that's
bonuses
good.
that we're putting into the
Yes.
program now because I find that it's something that works well. We're also adding a 3-day retreat, which all rebooters, yourself included, will be welcome to come to. We're going to have it once a month, and it's going to be all about developing a wellness mindset. And it's an incredible bonus to put in there because that's where the rubber hits the road. It's so far
Yes.
beyond food. It's what's
It's
between
not.
your ears, not on your
Yeah,
plate.
it is
Yeah.
definitely not all about the food.
No,
It's the quality of the food, the prepping of the food, the fun of prepping the food, because I love to cook.
you do. It's when
And
you eat it.
it's when you eat it,
Mhm,
and don't gulp it down. Enjoy it.
mhm.
Enjoy the moment. Live in that present moment.
Exactly. And have you
Yes,
counted a calorie, a carb, a protein gram? Have you had to count anything?
nothing.
Anything else you want to say what would you say, for instance, to the people who are watching that may be considering the program and wondering if it's worth the money?
The money is a bit of a challenge for a lot of people. I understand that. But when you look at the overall health, I've had one cold, I think, in the last 5 months or so. And part of it's because we've had to be quarantined with COVID and, face masks, and I still wear my face mask. But I think that overall, everything is healthier. You eat healthy, you're going to be healthy. And my sleep has become so much more through the night. I was having to get up at least every night once every night, and always about 3 a.m. I slept through last night. I sleep through more nights than not, which is really good. One thing that you told me too at the very beginning, you said drink when you're thirsty, because I was trying to drink way too much water. And as a result, everything was flushing out of my system and I couldn't have a healthy colon.
Mhm.
So that has made a big difference for me.
Great. Yeah,
Using,
we're told, how much water did you drink? I drank
right.
gallons. Everybody goes, yay. It's like
Yeah.
you're
No.
drowning out all your nutrition. Drink
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
thirsty. You have this wonderful
Yeah.
thing called thirst that your body does, and that there's
Hmm.
hunger, there's ghrelin and leptin and all these hormones that tell you you're hungry, you're full. And if you just you need to get back in touch with those. We have
Yes.
no idea what hungry or full is. I asked our
No.
friend yesterday on the call and I said, how do you know you're hungry? And she's like, because it's 12. It's like
Yeah. No. No.
we've lost touch.
It used to be that I thought when my stomach growled that I was hungry.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
no, that is just a small intestine bacterial overgrowth.
Mhm.
And my stomach growls like that because I've eaten something that I shouldn't have eaten.
Yes, called
It's not
SIBO.
because I'm
Yes.
SIBO. It's not because I'm hungry.
And sometimes you think you're hungry and you're actually thirsty.
Right, right.
So I tell folks, if you think you're hungry, first have something to drink. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, have a big old glass of water, room temperature water or something. And if that satisfies you, then perhaps you were thirsty. Because remember, we're not in touch with what that actually is.
Right.
And if you really think you're hungry, ask yourself, am I hungry enough for a snack? Am I just peckish or bored or upset or I wanting chocolate because I'm emotional or because it's 5 o'clock or, am I really hungry? And if you're hungry enough for a meal, eat a meal. Eat what you're hungry for and then stop when you're not hungry anymore. And that's hard for people to
Hmm.
stop because we're told clean your plate. We're told there's starving children in wherever and, clean your plate or eat this entire box or eat this entire something. And we go to a restaurant and like those massive plates, like a cheesecake factory, think, well, that's a meal. And we eat the whole thing. And then we're like, oh, I'm so full. It's like, that's not full. That's
No.
gluttony. That's
Yes.
that's food inhalation, but it's not feeding yourself.
Right.
And but on this program, you can go out.
Yes.
I teach you how to go out and how to not, destroy your resolve when you go out, how to have holidays. How much did
Hmm.
you lose during Christmas week?
1.6 pounds.
Yes. You lost weight to the tune of 2.4 pounds through Thanksgiving. I
And
mean,
I cooked a big, big Thanksgiving meal.
you did. And it was
Yes, I did.
beautiful and it was posted. I'll put a picture of it right up here for us to see.
Perfect.
But you've enjoyed your holidays and lost weight.
Yes.
You go out, you enjoy yourself. You found out when you go out, the places you used to go out that think were good food, you're just like, it's junk, the stuff that's
Yeah.
out there. And once you draw that line in the sand, once you say, this is what I'm having, you don't feel restricted anymore.
No.
You feel you're
No.
taking care of yourself. And Molly
Yes.
said it best. She said, it's not that I can't have something, it's that I won't have something anymore. And that was like, wow, because all of her friends were saying, what can you eat? Can't you do this? You can't eat that. When can you eat pizza again? And it's just like, when's your cheat day? And it's like, there are no cheat day. If you're looking for a cheat
No.
day diet, this is not it. If you're
That's
looking
right.
for the keto dessert mug cake program, not it. This is
Mm.
about highly dense, nutritious foods eaten at the right time and getting back in
Mhm.
touch with your body's natural ability to shed excess weight and make you vibrant, healthy, and at the ideal weight for you. We call it the optimal health reboot because during this process, you're rebooting to optimal health for you. It's not a one size fits all, it's what works for you. So I really hope that this wonderful community we have of rebooters who all help each other have on their own started volunteering to be buddies for each other and stepping up. I never asked them to, but there's this strong sense of community and help, and that you're not alone, and that I am the person that I had wanted when I lost 110 pounds. I wished I'd had a Sheila that I could call up or a community of Ermas that I could go to and say, help, but that's what we have
Yes, we do.
doing this. Yes, ma'am?
If they are not honest with themselves in their journal, they should be held accountable because the results will let them know how honest they have been.
You can't fake the results.
You cannot fake the
Nope.
results. You cannot fake the truth.
Mm-mm.
And if you
Yep.
halfway do it, you're only going to go halfway.
So if I can do it, if Erma can do it,
Anybody can do it.
that's right.
Yes.
So Erma, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, sweetie, thank you so much for
You're
sharing all
so
this with the
welcome.
people who are looking at this, the ladies, and it's a woman only program. I really would love to see you there. We're all here for you. Irma's here for you. And I really look forward to Irma's trip to Mexico, where she's going to show off her new figure.
That happens to be
In a month.
the Keys.
Oh, the Florida Keys. I keep thinking it's Mexico. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Irma's
No.
trip to the Florida Keys, where she is going to show off her new figure.
Yes.
I will correct
Yeah.
that in editing. Well, anyway, Erma, you are the best. Thank you so much. You're so gracious to give so much of yourself for people. Continue doing well. I look forward to seeing where you go with this. This is really exciting.
It is.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye now.
ma'am. We'll see you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye.